Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode here on the Dungeon Beneath playthrough of the Couch channel, where we are going to look at every single character that we have unlocked. I will look at these guys later because there's only 5 of them, but so Tar the Exile is probably this dude right here with the bow. Then we unlock another thing. I don't know what that is, but he looks cool. That looks like a drow thing. That looks like another elven mage. But let's look at all of these characters and let's find out what they're good for on this special episode to help start your new year. So first of all, we have Agatilis, who is a lizard folk archer. So his ability is when allies die, gain power. So he would have been really cool to have on that last summon build I ran. And yeah, actually would have been really, but here's the thing. I don't know what I would have replaced him with because everything else was, the fencing guy was pretty good about, you know, either way. If I didn't have the fencer, I would have grabbed him. But here he is at level 1, level 2, level 3. So he's 6 HP, 6 speed, 3 attack. He's going to gain 2 power every time someone dies. You want to put him with either a bunch of lizard people to trigger other lizard schemes, or anything where you can summon. If you can summon constantly, he's going to do 5 around. That is pretty damn good. Next we have the Armored Knight. Guys, this is your armor build savior, who is a human fighter. He has 8 hit points, no attack. So remember, he's an investment. But he will gain 1 attack, thankfully, at level 2. At max level, he will also have 14 health and 4 speed. Bonus attack equal to their armor. You want to pair him with things and items that will give him armor. You're going to want to watch him hit like a truck. Maybe 1 item to increase his speed so that he will do the hit before they start tearing through his armor. Speaking of armor, the Armor Smith, who we have seen in other very successful runs. He is a human fighter, and at level 3, he will have 8 health and only 1 attack. The whole point, he's been nerfed. In fact, I think he had the hardest nerf in the entire game. He used to give 6 armor after every round, now he only gives 4. That's still pretty good because he's going to give this guy 5 at level 3. So think about what you want to do. The Berserker, the Dwarven Angry Drunk tank that we all know and love. Level 3, max level, he has 9 health, he only has 1 attack, he's got 3 speed, he's slow, he's weak. He gains 3 bonus damage every time he gets hit. Guys, remember, bonus damage only triggers if you take damage. If you have a shield and you take 0 damage, it does not trigger counter. So, what you gotta do is you got to give him items that are going to boost his health and regen his health. Put him with some healers. Do whatever you gotta do. Keep him on the field and watch him just annihilate everything, because the magic number in this game is 4. If you can get 4 damage in every lane, your chances of beating Abaddon goes up dramatically because of those golden spheres that he summons, as well as all the other stuff. You need consistent damage in all 3 lanes to be able to beat Abaddon. Speaking of healing, the Cleric of the Path. A human mage. At max level, he is only 5 health. He has 2 attack, which is pretty damn good. 3 speed, he's a mage, he's going to be slow. But every time he follow-up means when he goes, he has to attack. He does not need to do damage if they're shielded or something. He has to take his action. So if he's paralyzed, that's not going to happen. You might want to give him the item that protects him against paralysis if you roll it. But he will restore 2 health to a damaged non-heroic. Pretty good for the Berserker. Pretty good for actually anybody, really. So let him... Remember though, he only gains that... So in the first level, he's going to gain his health and his attack. In the second level, he's going to gain his health and the follow-up ability. A lot of characters don't necessarily gain more power in their follow-up, so watch out for that. Cleric of the Rose. Hope. Hope is the key word that means that whenever anybody's health goes up, it triggers his ability. So at max level, he will be a 6 health, 2 attack, 2 speed character, and he will have Hope, where every time anybody in your party gains health, he will deal an extra 2 damage. If you've got a couple of items that heal, like whenever someone dies at the end of a round, you saw I had some potion belts. Spread out your healing and watch him triple or even quadruple his damage. 6 to 8 rounds of damage consistently is amazing. Don't let the fact that he's a weak little mage fool you. This guy's got some power. I'm sorry, no, I'm an idiot. Hope deals 2 damage, so he's pretty much the version of this, only for healing. Which is not bad, actually, if you have a huge healing build. I'm sorry, guys, I'm asleep. The Cultist. We've seen him many times before. He's extremely useful. At max level, he's never going to gain any HP. He's never going to gain any speed. He's never going to gain any attack damage. Why do you have him? Because every time someone dies, he gains 3 health. Whenever you kill an enemy, he gains 3 health. What does that mean? Boost his total health. If you can boost his attack, that would be great too. It's really hard to do that, unfortunately, for frontline characters. There is the item that lets you multi-class, but then you also have to both roll for the potion that lets you multi-class, as well as roll for. There's a mage ring that like gives you damage, but you take damage, or gives you damage, but you lose health or speed. There's some items that can help, but it's really hard. Look, just boost his health as much as you can. Give him a little extra damage. Watch him be a god on the battlefield. The Divine Protector. I really love the look of this character. He's a little hard to use, but at max level, he is awesome looking. In fact, he's one of the most. He has some of the most dramatic changes on his character art in the game. But at max level, he has 8 health. He has 1 attack. He's got 4 speed. And he should be the first character to die because he's going to give all allies shield. Now, here's the thing. I would suggest that he needs to gain at least 2. His attack needs to be up to at least 2. His ability shields everybody, so the other 3 characters or more on your field, as well as your hero, will all gain shield. But that's it. Losing a character only really protects you or helps you give some staying power for 1 to 2 rounds. He's also very slow. I would suggest that this character, I can't really figure out a build where I'd want to use him. And also at the lower levels, it's only give an allied mage shield, give all allied mages shield, give all, but it's a buff. It's not a great buff, and his stats are, he's got decent HP, which actually hurts him because his ability only goes off when he dies. He's not fast, and he doesn't have, he needs to have at least base 2 attack. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say that. 3 is probably a little too much, but he needs to have at least base 2 attack so that he can make a bigger impact while on the field. Because while he's going to give you a huge swing turn when he dies, that's it, and then you're down a character. Once you lose at least one of your main characters, it's a lot easier to go downhill fast. So I'm going to suggest that he really does he needs a buff. I'm sorry. I don't know how many people use him. I don't think he's really usable at his current stat block. The Druid, you know him. I love him. He's amazing. At level 3, the Druid is a huge, gains some really good stats for a mage. He's going to have 6 base health. He's going to have 2 attack. He's a mage. He's only going to have 3 speed. But each round, after the first round, he is going to summon characters. 2 doves are 0 attack, 1 hit point. 2 ravens are 1 attack, 1 hit point. And 2 wolves are 1 attack, 5 hit points. They gain a lot of power. So, he's going to fill up your board. He's going to hit decently well for a mage. And he's just very useful and cool. If you don't know what to do, what to take, a druid is not a bad choice. Especially when he gets 2 wolves who can tank most things in the game for at least a couple of rounds and give you a chance to do damage or heal or whatever other stuff that your party is built to do. The Enchanter. He is a gnome fighter. Why is an Enchanter a fighter? I don't know, but he's really cool. Oops. At max level, he gains some really cool artwork updates. He gains an incredible, guys, he gains incredible amount of stats. He's going to have base HP of 10. He's going to have 2 attack. He's going to have 5 speed. He is arguably one of the best fighters in the game, but he's not full of fighter build. As you can see, at the end of every round, all allied mages gain 1 power. What does that mean? If your hero and a couple of your mages, a couple of his allies are mages, he is going to give 2 to 4 extra damage per round. Remember, for Abaddon, the magic number is 4. You want to try to have 4 damage consistently in every lane so you can handle whatever he summons and does. Wouldn't it be a lot easier to have 4 damage in every lane if he's consistently giving an extra 2 to 4 damage to his allies every round and has the hit points to tank Abaddon's best move, which is the 8 damage blast? I think it is. I think it's worth it. This is a great guy that in any kind of mage build you cannot go wrong in. If you have 1 or 2 mages, you can put him with a bunch of fighters. If you have 1 or 2 mages, even if it's just your hero, he's going to boost the damage. He's a great pick, guys. The Enchanter's a great pick. The Fey Adept. I guess these are Fey elves, and these are like dark elves, Haruspex. They're like a Vulcan. No, these guys are called a Vulcan. I don't know. I hope they release more game modes and we get into the lore of this game, because the lore is great, and I love this game. I want to see more. He is an elven mage. Like a lot of mages, he's not going to gain a lot of stats. He's only spat. I'm just having fun right now, guys. He has base attack at max level of, base HP of max level of 4. He has 1 attack, he has 3 speed. However, he is poisonous, and allied summon units have 3 attack. He's great in a summon build, and if you can protect him, he can wear down opponents. That poison makes him good for a poison build too. He's also really great for a poison / summon build, because there's not a ton of characters who can do poison. So here's what I suggest. Put him in with the Evoking God or the Druid, and then throw out the rest of your board with poisonous characters, and you've got yourself a hell of a character who is going to boost everybody's attack. 3 attack around on even just 1 character is a huge swing. He's going to poison. You can boost up poison. The Fey Adept is a massive glass cannon. If you can protect him, he's going to do you well. Haruspex, guys. Do you know what artillery is? Because I know what you're thinking when you look at this guy. This guy is death. This isn't a drow guy. This is death incarnate. Look at how dangerous he looks. He's got a glowing eye at max level. And I know what you're thinking. He has 4 HP. He's got 4 speed. No attack. Not 0 attack. The Armored Knight has 0 attack. No attack. There is currently no item, no special item you can get at the end of a portion of the run, and no character ability that will give the Haruspex an attack. Do you understand? There is no. He will never attack. Gee, Cal. Why do I want him? Doom is his name. And I looked and I saw a pale horse, and upon the rider was death, and hell rode with him. Describes this character to a fault. Every time an enemy dies, he will deal 4 damage to a random enemy. You've seen it in some of my other builds. He will, especially if there's a bunch of weakened or medium health enemies on the field, he will go off. He will just annihilate. He can single-handedly board clear most boards in 1 round once you kill an enemy. 5 or 6 enemies per board. It's amazing. You gotta protect him. You gotta protect him. But yeah, I'm worried that he's going to nerf down to 3 Doom at level 3. I hope that they don't, because it's a little difficult to set up, but it's really satisfying and rewarding. Guys, this is one of the best characters in the game. Don't sleep on him. The Hunter. I really love All Human Archer. I know that he does not get a lot of love, but here's the thing. His follow-up is only deal 1 damage to the lowest health. So whenever he attacks, he then deals an extra damage to whatever enemy has the lowest health. So he can help set off Doom a little, he can help clear other lanes, or he can just get an extra damage on the boss. It doesn't improve at all. So why do I love this character so much? Because his stat gains are among the best in the game. 4 HP, 1 attack at the beginning, and he's always going to have the same speed. But look, another 2 HP and 2 attack at level 2. Another 2 HP, excuse me, and attack and 3 guys. You can also easily get. He has some of the 2 attack. Yeah, why do I always say attack? I'm sorry. 2 HP and 1 attack per level, both levels, is among the best stat gains in this game. Not to mention that archers have some of the best equipable items in the game. They have cloaks that give you health and speed. They have bows that give you attack and speed. It is so easy to get him to 10 health so he can tank. It is so easy to get him to 4 damage so he can hit that magical 4 number. And it is... Look, it doesn't say front or back only. He can go anywhere he damn well pleases. He can easily slot into any party. And he can easily replace any other more obvious choice if you have 1 or 2 items equipped on him. Don't sleep on the human archer. He is fantastic. Especially if you're doing like a dungeon run, or if they have released another game mode where you have more than base 5. He's just a solid pick. If he's not a first round draft pick, he's a second. He's fantastic. Hypogean, a lizard fighter. Guys, he has a scheme. Schemes mean that whenever he does not do something the next round, his ability goes off. So I know what you're thinking. Well, that sucks because then he doesn't do anything. Gain 1 armor for each allied lizard folk. So watch this. While his attack never goes up, he gains 3 health a round, symbolized by his little shield every round. So excited about this game that I'm misspeaking. He gains 3 HP. It's probably because this says attack, it's right below this, and I'm dyslexically stupid right now. Not dyslexic, I'm just dyslexically stupid. It'll pass. It'll pass. He has 12 hit points. So wouldn't you love to have this guy on Abaddon? Let me explain. Abaddon can confuse you to where he might accidentally move to the back row. Abaddon can paralyze you to where he can't do anything. In a lizard party of 3 or 4, he's going to gain 3 or 4 armor, which is going to allow him to tank. You can move, if you need to have something tank for one round, with a 6 speed, his scheme will go off really quickly, which will give him the 4 armor. So let's say if these are your lanes, Abaddon's coming to attack here with 3 damage. He starts here. Oh no! This spot's open. I don't want my valuable backline or my hero to get hit. Whatever shall I do? I move him down to here. His scheme goes off before Abaddon. He gains 4 armor. 3 or 4 armor. Hey, now he just tanked Abaddon's damage for 1 round. That's insanely valuable. You put him with a bunch of other lizard folk, he's really good. Lizard folk are probably especially because most of their schemes are each allied lizard folk, they're probably the ones most dependent on a racial party. But I've tried one out and it's really good, so don't sleep on it. Give it a shot, you'll enjoy it. Mage of the Sun. A little difficult to use, but not terrible. Mage of the Sun only has 5 hit points. He's got 4 speed like you'd expect. But guys, one of the few characters in the game to consistently gain damage every time he's leveling up. He's going to have a base of 3, but his ability is so good it doesn't improve at all. Gains double the amount of power. Any character that gives you power, any item that gives you power, and there are a few, Mage of the Sun is going to burn your enemies alive. Just 1 or 2 power per round consistently gives him 2 to 4 damage. He can be hitting for 7 a round consistently without any difficulty. He's really good for a mage build or any power builds that you might have, guys, so give him a shot. The Prey Leader, a lizard folk. If this character kills an enemy, they attack again. Again, he's got some of the best stat gains in the game. He's gaining 2 health and damage around. And every time I can go ahead and do that. Every time he kills, he can tear through a lane and hit the boss, guys. Give him a little damage, give him a little more HP so he can buff him up, and just watch him go, because he will go, and it will be amazing. Not the best, but a solid lizard man pick. The Rogue. He's a gnome fighter, and again, great stat gains, guys. 2 health a round, 1 attack per round. He's gonna go really fast. He's poisonous, which means that he's like that little rope. He's dealing at least 4 damage a round, because he's going to poison whoever he hits. If he doesn't kill them, they're taking another damage after they go. He's inexhaustible too. He can dance around and assassinate anything he wants. He's really solid, guys. He's a really good pick. I like him. The Squire, He's going to gain another ally in this lane. 1 power, 2 power, 3 power. Hey! Guys, Mage of the Sun's going to gain double the amount of power. Which means that he's giving Mage of the Sun 6 damage around if you put them by themselves. He only has 1 attack. You don't want to boost his attack. Boost it, give him items to give him armor every round. Heal him. Boost up his HP. This is, if you have a Mage of the Sun, the Squire is most likely the character you want the most in a power build. Let him just boost his power, because 6 power plus 9 damage around is going to nuke anything except for Abaddon in just 2 turns most of the time. Let it happen. Just let death come through. Sword Dancer, an Elvish fighter. He has decent stat gains because he gains 1 damage and 2 HP, and then he only gains 2 HP. He has an interesting ability. He gains attack whenever he's at max health, and he's inexhaustible. So, is it possible to build an inexhaustible party in this game? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna look at that and maybe try it, because my brain's slowing down because I'm trying to think. But the point is, you've seen whenever I used him, put a couple of potion belts or doom helmet or doom helmets on him so his HP gets healed consistently. Let him at 6 speed, he's almost always going to go first. Let him hit for 5 damage, which is really good. Let him tank for a round or 2. Then move him to another space where he'll still get 2 damage, but he can heal, and then he'll hit for 5 damage again. Then let him tank again. Guys, he's a little hard to use, but he's good. And finally, at all areas, we have the Venomancer, a poisonous mage, which is, he's just, you can tell they wanted to make poison. First of all, he gets some cool upgrades and all, but you can tell they just wanted to make poison viable, because first of all, he gains 1 health every level, which is good for a mage. He also gains 1 attack every level, which is insane. But his follow-up ability is very mean. He's also going to deal 3 damage to all poisoned enemies. Abaddon will always be poisoned if you have anything that deals poison. He's the only thing on that first round. It's almost taunting you to set up the board and do what you want. So against Abaddon, he will hit for 6 around. And this has follow-up, deal damage to all guys, he summons a poison cloud. So if you have a rogue or any other character, I wish there was an item that would let you, there should be at least an item that gives you +1 attack. There should also be an item that whenever the character hits, deals poison damage. I'm just spitballing. I would like to see, they would make these builds a little easier to do. But guys, he's going to hit really hard. He's great for a poison build. And if you have any way to poison, he's great for Abaddon because he's going to help blow through that HP. So the Underneath and the Abyss now, guys. These are characters that you only get through the 2nd and 3rd parts of the game. Mugan. He is a lizard folk mage, or she. It's hard to tell the gender of a lot of these characters, I'm sorry. At level 2 and 3, they're not anything special, guys. They're not going to gain any HP. They're not going to gain any attack. Now, their scheme is to give an extra 2 damage to all allied lizard folk. So, whenever they don't attack, they get paralyzed or confused, or if you want to start them off in the front row, especially against Abaddon, move them to the back, that's a huge power swing. My only complaint with this mage is that they have no stat gains and they're easy to kill. So you probably want healing and defense on them. And you probably have to figure out what you're going to do. I mean, it's really good, and there's going to be some really good turn swings, but if you don't have a Doom Helmet or a Potion Belt on this mage, and the Doom Helmet is fighter only, so you'd have to multi-class this character. The Potion Belt, I don't remember off the top of my head if it is fighter only. I would like a book of items would not be special items would not be the worst thing in the world. Maybe we can get one of those. Not terrible, but high skill level, and you have to build the party a little around this character use. You cannot put them in a mage party, because the mage party, unless it's a bunch of these guys, is not going to work. So, and probably with the weak stats, you can't really carry more than one. So, interesting, but not top tier, I would say. The Evokian God, we saw it in our last run, another run, guys. Doesn't seem that great. At max level, has 8 hit points, which is pretty good for a fighter, but only 1 attack. Good speed, though. This is the thing that you love. Counter, summon a Raven. Every time they take damage, at least 1 damage, they're going to summon a Raven. That's going to fill up your board. That's going to let you tank some stuff. If you have characters that gain stats when people die, you have a consistent number of characters to sacrifice. If you have a summon build where you have characters that or items that empower your summons, you're going to have stronger characters. It's a great thing to do. This is a really good character. I really enjoyed him. Battle Cleric. I've only used them once, but they are a lot of fun. This little dwarf, he's ready for some holy time. And he has 9 health, which you might think for a mage. Keep in mind, he's only in the front line, so he needs that 9 health to tank. He's really slow, and he only deals 1 damage. Guys, he restores 1 health to all characters in this column. Anybody who has health or hope, that's the key word you want to look at. Anybody who it says whenever a character gains HP, hope triggers their ability, this is your guy. Because you build a 3-man front line right here, guess what? You just triggered hope 3 times every single round. Off the top of my head, hope. You just triggered it every time. Remember how I said he can go off too? Just like this one can? You just guaranteed 6 extra damage per round. He will tear through anything. Don't sleep on this. Healing builds, unlike a lot of RPGs, a healing build, a hope build is completely viable and fun in this game. The Battle Mage, another frontline mage. And again, I would really love for these guys to, you know, be available from the beginning, or have other game modes where we can like build a guild, or there's so many cool things you can do with this game. But I'm going to be playing this game probably forever because it's so fun. Guys, the Battle Mage is frontline only mage, 1 damage, 3 speed, 12 health. What the hell? And whenever this character gains power, they also restore 1 health. I don't know off the top of my head if there are items that gain power. I can't think. There are characters who give you power, which would be really good for him. But if you're building a mage party, he's still a really great choice. There is a mage item where you give 3 attack, but you also lose max health, which is extremely, unlike most mages, they can't really have that because they don't have the hit points. This is the one mage that does definitely have the hit points to do that. And he's really, really great. And I love him. He's different, but he's cool. Battle mages. The Flame Adept, which I believe was one of the key focal points of my first victory against Abaddon. The Flame Adept is pretty insane stat gains for a mage. At max level, he will go up to 5 HP and 2 attack. He's only in the back. Also damages enemies in the same column. So he's going to deal up to 6 damage around. He's not going to deal up to... So row is... Let me double check real quick. Okay, yeah. Lane is side to side. Column is this. So the Flame Adept is going to tear through a front or back line. Give him 1 or 2 items that boost his HP. And just what... excuse me, not... I mean, yeah, his HP, but his attack. Get him up to 3 or 4 damage and watch him... If you can give him up to 4 damage, he can clear almost all those golden spheres that Abaddon summons in a single thing by himself. Especially if you boost his speed. This might be one of the only characters where the Dove Band is a really great idea. If he can get his attack up a little. Because he can go off, he can deal a lot of damage. and he can set up some really good plays. The Immortal. Guys, we shall fight in the shade, and we will fight with this guy. At max level, he is a golden son of death with 12 hit points. He has 2 attack and 3 speed. Look at all that armor. You think he's moving fast? Doesn't lose armor at the end of the round. Sounds really stupid. It's not. Put him with the Armor Smith. Give him a couple of items that give... There's some really great items. There's a Titan's Ring, which at the beginning of the battle gives him 4 armor. This is your tank. Give him or pair him up with anything that can consistently give him at least a couple of points of armor. Get him up to at least 2 to 3 armor per round. And you have him living up to his name. He is pretty much immortal. Now, one caveat when you use this guy, on New Game Plus or higher, Abaddon is going to have an ability which says that it erases all the character's hit points. I don't know if it's intentional that Abaddon is supposed to also erase all the character's armor. Currently, the way the game is programmed, your HP is just bonus, your armor is just bonus hit points. I don't know if that's true. I think that's a little unfair. But Abaddon, he cannot tank Abaddon. He cannot. He will get, even if you have like 15 armor on him, which I've seen done, even if you have tons of armor on, Abaddon will reduce him to 1. So he might need a little healing too. But he is a really solid character, and if they ever change that Abaddon ability to where he does not lose his armor when his HP goes to 1, the Immortal would just be insane. The Night Marksman, another Doom character. A little weak because he only has 6 hit points. He does have a decent 2 damage. He can be wherever he needs to be. He doesn't have restrictions. He's going to go really fast. Every time somebody dies, he gains 2 power. Pair him up, and remember, Abaddon will summon a ton of stuff. So anytime Abaddon summons a poison thing, your attack next round after you kill the poison thing is 4. If he summons the 2 other guys, you're going to be 6. If he summons 4 golden spears, your attack is 10. He will wipe out a huge chunk of Abaddon's HP or anything that Abaddon tries to tank with. Night Marksman is a good dude build. The Ranger. Whenever an ally is summoned, gain 2 power. Whenever an ally is summoned, gain 3 power at max level. Only 5 hit points, but he can be wherever he needs to be, and he has a solid 2 attack. Guys, any kind of summoning build, anything where you can consistently summon, and his base attack is, if you can summon every single round, his base attack is not 2. His base attack is minimum of 5. Let it happen. He's consistently damaged, consistent lane clearing. Really great. So, if you've noticed, I have a lot more positive things to say about these guys, and I will about the named heroes that we've unlocked. Just because, it would really be silly to make these guys kind of weak, since you can't get them from the beginning of the fight. The Royal Captain, at the max level, a great 12 hit points and a good, respectable 2 attack, 5 speed. Give all characters in this column plus 1 armor. He's pretty good, and in this column means him. He counts as a character, so you can give up to 6 armor. In an armor build where you're trying to stack armor, that's really good. I have a caveat. I would argue that the Royal Captain needs to give 2 armor, because it's kind of hard, even with an armor build. I think I can choose one of... Because you can have Ares, 2 is the Royal Captain, 3 is the Immortal. Four is the Armor Smith. Yeah, I would rather take an Armored Knight, an Armor Smith, and an Immortal, or an Ares. He needs a buff, because in an armor build, I'm probably not. If I have a choice, I ain't taking the Royal Captain. He's good. He has good HP. He has a respectable attack. 2 attack on a frontline character is not great. But no, there are too many other, with the hard 5 character limit on most playthroughs. I would argue he needs to give 2 armor at level 3. He needs a buff to make him more viable. He needs that buff. Sage of the Word. So here's my question with him. When it says the Word, is he like a poet magician, or is it like Christianity, the Word of God? It doesn't say. Again, this is those little tidbits of lore that I'm super excited about, but I don't know what they do. At max level, he gets a cool little crown, and he gets a lot nicer robes and staff. He has a really good stat gain. He's going to be 5 hit points. He's going to be 3 attack, back only. He's going to be slow. Hope. Gain 1 power. Put him with Battle Cleric. Watch him do at least 5 damage around. Any kind of... Give him a healing staff. Watch him gain another power per round. Just really great for a Hope build. You have to love him. He's a solid character. He's a great character. The Venom Witch. Finally, we get a little lady. I want all my ladies... shout out in the comments if you're a girl and you're playing this game. Guys, let's give the women some respect, because it's nice to see them doing it here in the game. You can't really build a... Like when I play Super Robot Wars, I love an all-female run sometimes. You can't really do that in this game because there aren't enough female characters or characters who are obviously... Like the Flame Adept could be a girl. You don't know. You don't know their life. But at max level, they have only 1 hit point, but they gain 1 attack and a pretty freaking sweet hat, guys. So, yeah. But she deals double damage to poisoned characters. Abaddon will always be poisoned if you have any way of inflicting... If you have the venom thing that poisons at the beginning of the round, or if you have the rogue who can poison people, or other things that can poison people, she will always do 6 damage to Abaddon. She hits like a truck. She still hits really well at 3 damage even without it. She can be a good supporter in a half poison or full poison build. She's really good. The Void Summoner. This is insane, guys. She gains a really freaking sweet staff and a crown. She has a dagger. She has no attack. She only has 4 hit points. At the end of the round, when you get her, she's going to summon a Void Wisp. If you don't remember what a Void Wisp is, it's a creature that deals 1 damage to all characters when it dies, and it dies at max speed. It's got 99 speed. Get her to level 3, and she summons a Greater Void Wisp. I've never played with this, so I don't know what that is. But it's probably damn sweet. I'm going to guess that it deals at least 2 damage. It guarantees that at the start of your second turn, any kind of Doom build you build out will do damage. She's really good. You can't really stack 2 of these Horror Specs, people, even though that would be a lot of damage, because it would be hard to consistently do it. Get 1 of these, and just let them go. And finally, in the underneath, the Wraith Conduit. Really good stat gains, first of all, and really sweet golden trimmed robes. 5 HP, 4 damage. Guys, that's disturbing. So what does he do? He targets the lowest health enemy in any lane, and whenever he gets hit, he's going to attack. He's pretty good for a Doom build, because he's always going to seek out the lowest health enemy. So he's going to help board clear and make, he's going to weaken Abaddon or most other enemy groups that depend on summoning things to their board. And if they do manage to hit him, he's going to attack. Now, his low HP means that you might have to have a heal, something that will heal, or give armor, or something to help give him a little. But he's really good. And finally, in the Abyss, the named champions, the best of the best. I wanted to go ahead and give you guys this video. It's going to take a long time to unlock these, so we will see what we can do. But first, Ares the Lost Knight, an elemental fighter. I don't know why he's called that, because he's not an elemental, he is an armor fighter. He has 12 hit points at his... The only named character is only level 3. And only 1 attack and only 2 speed. He's a great tank, but whenever this character would gain armor, they gain power instead. Guys, Ares in an armor build is your damage. He is your damage. So here's what you're going to do with him. Give him at least one item to where he gains armor every single round. The Titan's Ring will also mean that he gains 8 damage for his first round, which will let him kill practically anything in the game. He's really good. He's really good. You are going to want to put him in with a healing build, or you are going to want to put him in with a potion belt. You don't want to give him... Remember, he always gains power instead of armor, so he's not going to be as tanky as the rest of your armor build. You want to give him a little bit of health back. But I've used him before. He's in my most successful party. Is he a Cyclops, or is that a magical... Is that why it's an elemental? Because it's a magical helm that looks like a Zaku from Gundam? Kind of, sort of, maybe? I don't know, but he's really... All of your named characters are really great. Zero, the Master Animist. Level 3 Human Mage. To attack, 4 hit points. Death. When they die, transform. I don't know what they transform into. I've never been able to use Zero. But guys, it's probably pretty damn good. So there's not really any characters. There's, well, at least one Lizardman off the top of my head. There's not really any characters that are going to take advantage of his death thing. It's not going to be huge. But you know, with those stats, and they could be in the front row, put them into where let them tank for a round, and then death, and then whatever they turn into is going to be amazing. I'll try it sometime. Edric, the fencing master. He's like a little bard, only he's a fencer. He has a very nice 7 hit points. He has a very nice 2 attack, and go anywhere. He has 7 speed, so he's going to go fast. He attacks twice. There's your full damage, and he's inexhaustible. He is literally meant to dance around the battlefield wherever you need to, and take out golden spheres, or summoned enemies, or give a little extra damage per round wherever you need to. Edric is great. I've used him before. He's fantastic. Use him. And our final one that we're going to look at, Ixotel, the Hatchling Ward. 4 HP, 2 attack for a mage, is a little on the weak side. When they die, fill your board with lizard folk hatchlings. So if they die first, they're going to summon at least 2 lizard folk hatchlings. No, excuse me. Even if they die first, when they die, they've opened their slot too. So you have at least 3. I would need to know what a lizard folk hatchling does, if it has an ability, and what their stats are. Potentially good, but I'm just not sure yet. And then, of course, as we go on more, guys, I will review the other 5 characters and whenever I unlock them. But, guys, that is your Book of Champions. A special look at the amazingness of this game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later, guys. Recruit as you see fit. That's what you need to take from this. Goodbye now.